welcome to our channel, Two Crones Psychic Investigators. My name is Melody. For those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. Thank you to all of the returning subscribers for my other channel. We are very, very grateful for each and every one of you guys. All right. So I apologize for getting the monthlies out. I have been a busy person here in my world. So I just wanted to get on here, and I want to do the last 2 weeks of April. And we're going to start off with the star sign of Aries. So Aries, before I turn on the live stream here, I seen the scales of balance, which would make perfect sense, especially since we just had this solar eclipse in your sign. So I feel like Aries collective, there is a reset or a balance within thyself that is taking place. I see a doorway. I'm channeling live. I usually do all this behind the scenes, but I figured I would show you a little bit about how I do this. I see what looks like a row of desks. And I also seen a question mark in one of the seats in the rows of that desk. So I'm not exactly sure what that means for you. Please only take the messages as they resonate. Aries Collective. I'm also seeing a cross that's flipping. It goes from upright to reverse. Upright to reverse. So it's flipping back and forth for some reason. Wow. Okay. Now it's in the upright position, and I see like a glow around it. I feel like it's a sign, Aries, that you are divinely protected. I also feel that's also a sign that you're walking that line. You're kind of like walking that line like I am, in between darkness and light. That's why it showed it flipping back and forth. I see you sitting and looking out a window. Not exactly the same scenario that I have set up right at the moment, but I do see you sitting and looking out the window. Kind of like, I want to say, tuning in. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. I was holding my master crystal. So the first card that we're going to pull is the moon card, because we have the full moon that is coming, that starts out in the sign of Libra and then moves into the sign of Scorpio while it is still in the full moon energy. So we're going to go ahead and pull a moon card for you, Aries Collective, and see what this moon's energy looks like around you. Okay. If you hear that vibrating, that is Leanne and I conversing back and forth. All right. So in the cards, a personal issue reaches a resolution, full moon in Cancer. So we are talking about Aries, the full moon that starts out in Libra and rolls over into Scorpio. So I feel like there is a challenge that needs to be resolved, and that's why it's in reverse. A challenge that is within thyself that needs to be resolved, and through that, this full moon in Libra that rolls over into Scorpio, it's being reflected back to you. And this is a very important. We have Cancer, which rules the fourth house, which talks about home, family, the ships, the ships that we're in, such as our friendships or any relationship, friendship, romance ship, family ship, whatever that ship may be. But I feel like you're being challenged to resolve this issue in this full moon energy that is coming up. And then we have void of course, nothing will come of the situation, but it's in reverse. I feel like there is a personal issue of fear here for you, Aries, as stepping out of your comfort zone. So yeah, void, of course. So this is something that you cannot avoid. You have to go through this to complete this transformation. What did I say about stepping out of your comfort zone? North Node energy. So we have the North Node coming through here, which talks about reflecting back on our habits, reflecting back on our patterns here, Aries. And it's talking about Cancer, our home life. So it could have something to do with your inner child, because sometimes our inner child don't feel secure. It causes personal issues throughout our whole entire life into our adulthood. Okay, so this is something you cannot avoid to complete your transformation, and that is why I seen the scales of balance. It's like a reset or a recalibration, which is bringing your current situation into a reset, so that you can step forward out of this habitual pattern that has been rooted within you. It is being reflected back to you that you cannot avoid this. This is part of the divine's plan for this recalibration, is what I see here, Aries. All right. So, what is some wisdom? This is the wisdom of the oracle, this deck right here. I didn't put the moonology cards up there. I don't even know what I did with the um, box right at the moment. Oh, I see it. All right. So here is the other card deck that I am using, the Moonology. That's what I just pulled. So we'll just put that right there. All right, Aries. So let's go ahead and see what is some wisdom that you're gaining, or maybe something you need to know, Aries, for these last 2 weeks of April. Now, April is the 4th month. We just went through spring. So things, I before I started the videos, I kept hearing May, April showers bring May flowers. So there's a lot of emotions happening. Could be what this personal issue is that you're dealing with, Aries, is an emotion. um there may be your head is like fluffing it up, so to speak, like your thoughts are expanding it maybe beyond what it really is. And I don't know why, but that's what I feel here, Aries. So let's go ahead, shuffle these up for Aries, and then we're just going to spread them out. I'm going to pick them. All right, so the last 2 weeks, we're going to talk about this next week coming up for Aries. Okay, so we have time for a nap. So we have the moon coming through here. I'm trying to hold it up there so you can get your own personal message. There's little images in the card. I want to make sure that you guys can see it well there. So right off the bat, we have the moon coming through here. So taking a nap talks about taking that break. See how the moon's got their eyes closed, right? Okay, so the 24 talks about, okay, twos and fours, first of all, adds up to a 6. Okay, 6 is about that balancing out and connecting the head and the heart in a very balanced and mature way. So the 6 broke down into a 2 and a 4. So we're talking about April here. April is a 4-month. 4 is talking about staying determined to push through and resolve things. Twos talk about that balancing of our masculine and feminine energy, of our head and our hearts. Hearts talking about opening up to receiving things, and as well as being giving, which is also a habit. For some of you, you may be a bit over giving, right? And spirit's telling you it's time to take a break from a situation. So let's go ahead and, yes, I'm going to read from the book here, Aries, because there could be something specific just for you. So rest, rejuvenation, renewal, temporary non-action, and allowing dreams to arise. So Aries, pay attention to your dreams. There could be a message in your dreams that is telling you what this wisdom is, or what this issue is, particular to each an individual situation. So pay attention to that. All right. So this is a time to step away and get rest. All right. So this next week of April, they're telling you to take a break, right? Just take a break from a situation. Let the cares of your world go. Go into a state of non-action and allow yourself to be free of the shackles of your goals, your list, and your desires. Nothing is as important as rest, detachment, and neutrality. The overly busy mind can block you from inner wisdom if you don't step back, take a seat, and rest. Be willing to let your dreams surface and ideas flow through you, absent any force of conscious direction as you observe without engagement now. So it's about taking that step back, right, from the situation, bringing that state of balance in, like I said, between your head and your heart. Instead of staying determined to push through, it's like you don't want to have a case of burnout from trying to push too hard to achieve some sort of a goal. But I feel for some of you, Spirit's just telling you to take that step back and reconnect with your person, with who you are. That's why I'm seeing the crab here. That's what crabs do, right? They just stop and then they go inside their shell and they hibernate. Why? Because maybe for some people, they're afraid to confront things. Um, so let's see what's happening for the last 2 weeks of April for Aries. What wisdom do you need to know? Okay, so unfinished symphony, which is a number 10. So tens automatically to me are completions of a cycle, because you go from 9, you go to 10, right? So that is like earning that badge within thyself and being that full and moving forward uh, carelessly, trusting your movement forward by letting go of things, packing lightly on your journey. See how you got somebody sitting on the egg there? See the piano keys too. See, it reminds me of a piano, some sort of music. Some of you could be music channelers, right? So it's about being in that flow of listening to your heart. So we have the egg here. See, there's even a face in the egg. So there's some sort of, I feel, an inner muse coming through here. Um, so I feel like they're telling you, Aries, you are on a course where you need to connect with your intuition. So if you feel blocked or you feel stuck and you feel unable to make that decision to go in a direction, right, that you're going to be pushed out of that comfortable habit, that comfortable pattern. Okay. So the last week of April, we have a number 10 coming through. Tens, like I said, are completion of a cycle, earning a badge within thyself by what? Reconnecting to, I feel like, an inner muse coming through here for you, Aries, especially with all the musical notes. Pay attention to music, because I feel like lyrics speak to you. For some of you, I feel like you need to listen to some meditation music, is what I feel, to calm the monkey mind. All right, number 10. Okay. Unfinished business, incomplete lesson, lack of closure, the need to make amends. This is a time to tie up loose ends as you are near completion of a cycle or a project and a mastery of a lesson or skill. Before you can move forward, it's important that you come to terms with where you are now. Practice radical acceptance. Take inventory so that emotional and psychological closure can occur and the answers you seek will be found. You can move forward if you are leaving things, you can't move forward if you are leaving things unfinished. Reflect on what has passed so that the symphony can finally end on a high note. Remember, and that's what I seen, that full energy. If you know anything about tarot cards, where the fool is about to step off the precipice of perhaps a new adventure, but he's looking behind him, right? He's looking behind him. So I feel like they're telling you, take that moment to reflect on what you're leaving behind. Take a moment to reflect on something on a personal level that is still instilled within your inner child. Grab it out by the root, Aries, right? Grab it out by the root. Because this is unfinished. This lesson is unfinished, or this business is unfinished. You're not gonna be able to move forward until you complete this cycle, this pattern, until you resolve it. And that's what you're coming to terms with. So we have a 20, which is a 6 plus a 1, which is a 7. And 7s are about challenges along our journey. I feel like you have a specific spirit guide that you communicate with in your dreams. Could have a connection with music. Every time maybe you hear this music or this song, right? It may bring up some sort of an emotion. Maybe you've been stuffing this emotion down, thinking, okay, well, I'm over it. And maybe you're really not too, Aries. So think about that. All right, so let's move on for Aries. So you need to close this chapter before you can take the next step, before an idea right here, an idea that's nesting can be born, till this egg can crack open. So you have to complete this. You have no choice. You are at that crossroads, Aries. All right. So let's go ahead and post some more messages for Aries, some advice about their energy. So, which makes sense why I seen the scales of balance before I started pulling cards. So the scales of balance, we got that moon energy that starts out in Libra, the scales of balance, and rolls over into Scorpio, the house of death, endings, completion, which makes perfect sense, right? Things are going to change, yes, Aries, but very slowly. Which would be perfect sense with the time for nap. So take that break while things are slow. Take that chance, right, to reconnect with thyself. Make sure that everything, all the work has been done, that all these old patterns is closed. The door is closed to it. Okay, Aries. Yeah. See the divine intervening. There's divine intervention happening for Aries. Aries. Okay. Yes, when the fall season cycles around. So you got two guesses here. Now we have fours coming through, which already came through once. So 444. We have Mercury. We're talking about the April here. So we are in the 4th month, right? So this whole month, Aries, you you've been I want to say you've been finishing up, tying ends so that you can start this new chapter of your life. And you're like the very loose ends that you have that need tied up are like the roots, pulling them weeds out by the roots, so to speak. Okay. So we have the fall season coming through here. So we got two, yes, things are going to change and things, the cycle is going to change for you, but maybe not we're talking about April. So maybe August, September. Um, we even have October coming through here. Oh, and look at this. We have divine timing. When the time is right, so we have two cards of the divine coming through here. There's divine intervention happening in this situation. But the fours talk about being pushed, right? Staying determined, staying resilient through the energies, staying faithful to your intuition. It's about staying faithful and being authentic, being truth of who you are, not fearing what people think or feel on a personal level, not taking that, right? Learning to trust your intuition because we have a lot of moon energy coming through here. Learning to trust your intuition. We have Mercury coming through. Mercury is currently in retrograde. We also have the sense or one of the six senses coming in, which is this smell. So you may smell certain things. I do. Sometimes I'll smell what smells like toast or maybe a cigarette smell from an ancestor. That's them letting you know that they are with you. Maybe some of you may get the scent of cologne or something along them lines. That is also a sign that your spirit guides are with you. All right. So, yes, Aries, we got yes, double. The things are going to change. The situation is going to change once you tie up this loose end, okay? Because you have unfinished business coming through for the last week of April. You're achieving something because you are going through all of the little things within yourself. Like I said, weeding out that garden. As I said that, I've seen 4 too. So let's get a final message for you, Aries, from the animals here. Porcupine. Free yourself of guilt and shame. Yes, that is what you're doing. Freeing yourself. Guilt and shame. There's unfinished business within you. And it's like you're going back to that state of innocence, talking about the home, the family, the inner child, the innocence. Coyote, what did I say about the Fool card? Accept your follies and find the teaching in them. Yeah, teaching. Aries. So accept your mistakes, right? Because if you did not make them, you would have never been able to learn from them. That's that wiseness in your foolish choices. And then the final one is discernment links. Look beyond immediate appearances. And that I feel is what you need to do, Aries, this last couple of weeks of April is to look beyond immediate appearances. Learn to trust your intuition and pull the root of guilt, shame, resentment, anger, all of that emotion that you could be hanging on to. Pull that weed of emotion and thought process out, right? Because I feel for some of you, you could be on a defense about a little bit of things. So accept your lessons, the teaching from them. Look back on the situation and say, whew, wow, was it divine on my side or what? Okay. So that is what I see for you, Aries, for the last 2 weeks of April. Have a great rest of the month. Talk to you soon.